From the Department of Communication in Phillipsburg, this is a special edition of Inside Government with Charity Dunker.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of Inside Government Interview. I'm your host, Charity Dunker. On this edition of Inside Government, I'm being joined by the department head over at Permits and the acting department head of infrastructure at Department VROMI. Hello to you and welcome, none other than Mr. Charlon Pompier. How are you doing, Charlon?
Good day, Charity.
Hey.
I'm doing fine, thanks. Thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here.
You're more than welcome. Before we get things started, how is everything going over at VROMI?
It's going well. VROMI is a very, very busy ministry. It's a lot of dynamic taking place there, and we love what we do over there. So we try to make a difference with the little resources that we have, but we're steadily building and improving.
Sounds like you're very proud of not just VROMI, also your team.
Very proud of my team.
Excellent. My reason for extending this invitation here to our station over at St. Martin Gov Radio 107.9 FM, our topics for discussion: VROMI annual hurricane preparedness cleanup. So that's the garbage bins, location, pickup times, all of that we're going to get in discussion. Also low-lying flood areas and road works, and also the markings. Been a lot spoken in media, so we're here to also share on that as well, right? Welcome, Charlon, again. Recently, back in November, I noticed some road repairs were being carried out on the Bush Road, and now I've noticed also in the Colby area coming down the Colby Hill over by the roundabout, heading towards the Tackling gas station. Which other roads will be looked into, Charlon?
That is correct. We did start the road resurfacing program. This year, we decided to do it differently. We formerly were doing road patching. However, road patching is now being done internally by VROMI's own infrastructure management staff in the operations division. But now when we do outsourcing of work, we call it road resurfacing. So we outsource work that VROMI is not able to do themselves. Okay. We also started, yes, indeed, on the Bush Road. Bush Road was a road that was not resurfaced in a very, very long time. We did not resurface the entire Bush Road, but we did about 75% of it, mainly to save funds so that we can also do other areas. The public can now enjoy a Bush Road that has for the first time or for in a very long time road markings also on it, which gives us safer and more enjoyable driving experience. Right now we're doing the Union Road in Colby. We started milling a couple of weeks ago, and we are going to be putting the top layer of asphalt very soon. This road will also be getting road markings, and the outcome will be a better infrastructure for the road users. After the Union Road, we intend to do the L.B. Scott Road, and we also intend to do a part of the Sucker Garden Road, which is in terrible state going towards the Defiance area. However, we also need to see how far the budget will allow us to go. We are in the process of announcing the new tender for roadworks for the budget period 2023-2024. So the roadworks will be steadily progressing, and we've also obtained capital expenditure budget, so we can also do much more roadworks on the island in the coming period.
Now, about the road markings. After the road has been asphaltized, if I'm saying that good, I'm not an expert in the field, you are. How many weeks thereafter does the markings follow up to be done?
Well, basically what we have to do is we have to allow the asphalt to cure. We cannot put paint on freshly laid asphalt because the asphalt contains too much oils. So it will just be, the paint will bounce off of the asphalt.
Okay.
So we allow the road to cure. It is approximately, I would say, give or take 2 to 3 weeks after we can safely apply the paint on the surface of the asphalt.
Charlon, also seeing all of the beautifications on home repairs, I'm smiling about that because I'm really happy to see that we'll be more prepared this time around in case of a storm. I don't even want to mention hurricane. From VROMI on infrastructure and roads and whatnot, how will these repairs hold up against our conditions out here in the tropics, would you say?
Well, I must say that we have not been receiving any complaints from the home repairs that were done thus far. And having inspected the quality of the work performed by the contractors, we are very impressed and very happy with the outcome of the home repairs that were conducted.
Very good. Approve. Who does the approvals and making sure in the field of experts? Is there someone that you contact as well who also experience the storms like the ones that we actually go through, Category 5s and whatnot?
Yes. Well, all of the drawings and the schematics for the home repairs, they were done by engineers and reviewed by the Department of Permits prior to the actual works being performed. There were a lot of works being performed, so what we did was we had a general set of approvals that were given, and those approvals now have translated into home repairs being conducted faster, which is what is necessary. And actually, they're still ongoing today. You can see around the island, there's a few homes that are still in the process of being repaired, most likely through the trust fund money, I believe.
Okay, and you would say more or less, can you give a count as to how many are still pending?
No, I don't have the count on that because those are not actually being carried out by VROMI itself. Those are being conducted by the trust fund.
Okay. Before we even touch on building permits, we've heard in the past as well, sometimes there are many complaints of people who are still waiting to get a approval. What usually is the time frame?
The time frame to obtain a building permit currently is around 4 months. We know, and we also are trying to get building permits out faster, but the issue is actually twofold. It's one, a lack of resources. Lack of resources also means the equipment that the department has to perform the checks that are required on the permits. It needs to be improved. We also need additional personnel. We have been hiring external help, which has been a great help to the production of the department. But secondly, what we have noticed is many persons that are architects that submit building permits, they do not submit building permits in, let's say, in a high quality method.
Okay.
So the department finds many corrections that need to be made so that the drawings can pass the code. And once this happens, it creates a delay because the person working on the permit file, they need to stop, they write a letter towards the applicant or the architect, and then this letter is communicated. They must wait for an answer. They need to wait for additional corrected drawings to come back to the department. This is spread over a number of weeks. In the meantime, of course, the person that was working on that file has transferred over to working to another file for another person. So the process is quite intricate. However, we are launching a new building code soon, and we've invited all of the architects and engineers on the island to the sessions of the building code, and they were very well represented by architects and engineers. And our goal with this new building code is to bring everyone up to the new standard. And we foresee once everyone is on that new standard, then everyone will be in compliance, or at least more in compliance than it is right now, because right now it varies a little bit too much. And as a result of that, then the department will have better quality work submitted, which will lead to faster and more efficient output of building permits.
Okay. The voice of none other than Mr. Charlon Pompier. He's the department head over at Permits and also the acting department head of infrastructure at Ministry VROMI. Once again, radio listeners and television viewers, you're tuned into Inside Government Interview with yours truly, Charity Dunker. I'll be taking this break and I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
This hurricane season, make a list of supplies and assemble them before a hurricane strikes. Have enough food and water for each person for at least 3 days. Fill your prescriptions and have medicine on hand. Radios, batteries, and phone chargers are also must-haves. Gas up your vehicle and have cash on hand. For more information, visit stmartingov.org/hurricane. And for the latest coronavirus COVID-19 guidelines, visit stmartingov.org/coronavirus. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin. During the hurricane season, a potential tropical cyclone can produce rainfall that can cause flash flooding and rock falls. Residents in areas prone to flooding or near the coast should make the necessary preparations to protect life and property. Stay away from flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall, such as L.B. Scott Road from Emilio Wilson Park until Cake House Supermarket, Zakers Gut from Petro Plus gas station until the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Welka-Laken Road in Cahill from Welka-Laken Road Roundabout until the One-Tete Loque Roundabout, Beacon Hill Road from Sunset Bar and Grill until the beginning of White Sands Road, Rhine Road, also known as Mullet Bay Road, after Sonesta Maho Beach Hotel, to the entrance of Kupakoy from the intersection of University Drive until the intersection of Rio Grande. For more information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe this hurricane season, visit stmartingov.org/hurricane. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
You ever hear earthquake call and say, "Hello, Mr. Mara, it's me. Earthquake coming in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it comes, it'll shake all the sense and the sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking start and you know it's an earthquake, make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit, and the stairs that may be broke up or even full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and then poof, power gone, and you're stuck in a box without air. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls in an earthquake, that is bad news. Take care of yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drops and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't bother run outside and ask, "You feel it? You feel it?" Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on.
This public service announcement was brought to you by Sedema and the government of St. Martin. Hurricanes bring many hazards to St. Martin's coastlines and inland areas, including storm surge along the coast, inland flooding due to heavy rainfall, tornadoes, strong wind, rip currents, and large waves. Find out today what types of wind and water hazards could happen where you live, and then start preparing how to handle them. Hurricanes are not just a coastal problem. Their impacts can be felt a few kilometers inland, and significant impacts can occur without it being a major hurricane. For more information on how you can protect yourself and your family this hurricane season, be sure to visit the official government website, stmartingov.org/hurricane. And for the latest coronavirus COVID-19 guidelines, visit stmartingov.org/coronavirus. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
Welcome back to this edition of Inside Government Interview, where I'm joined by my guest from the Department of VROMI, Department Head of Permits, and also Acting Department Head of Infrastructure, none other than Mr. Charlon Pompier. Right before the break, we were in talks about permits, whereby I asked a question, what's the process like, a time frame for when a person submits the request for a permit? Charlon, you wanted to add more just before the break?
Yes, I would like to expound a little bit on the architects and engineers requirements with the new building code. Part of our intentions is, of course, to speed up the process of building permits. So what the department and the ministry will be coming with in the coming months is a certification round, a certification course and training for architects and engineers, that they will be certified, and this certification is actually going to be a field that they can enter, that they can write down on the building permit application form. So once the building permit comes in and the person that is evaluating the drawings, they see that this is submitted by an architect or engineer that is certified in the building code, then we automatically would know that the quality of the work submitted is supposed to be on a certain level. Of course, there will still be checks taking place, but it is a practice that happens all over the world already. Even on the French side, the architects must be part of the architecture board of the French Republic.
Okay.
And that board also includes certain rules, such as if your architect submitted work that is wrong or needs correcting to the department, then your architect is no longer allowed to charge you extra for changes to that work. And we believe that is something that is definitely required on the Dutch side, because we see a lot of corrections being made to drawings. And we find it's unfair to the persons that have no affinity with architecture, that their drawings are subject to changes and possibly also additional fees charged by the architects because VROMI requires changes. So that is something that we are striving to eliminate altogether with the certification of architects.
Okay. We're talking building, we're talking architects, we're talking permits. Let's all just tie that in right now with hurricane season, as we're in that season right now, June 1st, all the way to November 30th. Seeing that the reconstruction work program on renovation of homes are still ongoing, Charlon, should a hurricane be approaching our shores, what should the contractors have their workers do at the various work sites in preparation of an approaching storm or hurricane?
Well, definitely, it will depend on the magnitude of the hurricane. If it's a tropical storm, we do require that all construction sites secure the building materials, remove equipment as much as possible that can be removed. Equipment that cannot be removed or disassembled, have them tied down and fastened securely. And this also counts for example, removable structures. There are some permits given to removable structures. For instance, some structures on the beaches on St. Martin. Those permits include clauses that when St. Martin is placed under hurricane watch, they are required to begin disassembling and removing parts of the structure in accordance to the building permit that was issued. And the effort in all of this is to prevent flying debris, because as we've seen with the passing of Hurricane Irma, most of the damage caused was due to flying debris.
Okay. And for persons who would like to have their homes, just repairs, small home repairs at home in preparation for a storm, is also a permit required? They have to go ahead and also put in a request for permit?
Well, we operate from the philosophy that you already have a building permit if you have a home built. Therefore, a permit will not be required to have small repairs done or any type of repair done to your home that is in accordance with your already issued building permit.
Okay. And we mentioned already, but I'd like us to reiterate this part again, the procedures in applying for a permit. One more time.
Okay, the procedures for applying for a building permit is quite simple. We have an appointment system in place. So you must go to the government website and enter appointments.stmartingov.org. There you will select the Ministry of VROMI, followed by the Permits Department. And the reason for your appointment would be to submit a new building permit request. That happens on the government website. You will receive an appointment date and time. You come to the department on that specific date and time. You will be greeted by our lovely staff who will accept your drawings and do a quick check to see if all the required drawings or documents are submitted, such as the application form, signed, the deed, the various drawings that are required for the permit, which is actually listed on the back of the application form.
Okay.
And stamps, the government stamps that are required, just to name a few. So a quick check is done there, and this is followed by the same person who takes in your permit entering the information into our system. Once it is in the system will generate an invoice. This is a processing fee invoice. This is not the final building permit invoice.
Okay.
A lot of people confuse that, so it's good to mention that. The building permit process only starts once the department has received proof of payment of that processing fee invoice, which is set at 200 guilders. Okay. And once that processing fee invoice is paid, the evaluators begin the work on this permit, and they do their checking. They do requesting advice from external departments such as the fire department, civil aviation, if required, the traffic police, the Department of Infrastructure Management, the Department of New Projects, anywhere that is required They check the deed on government-related properties because when you have long lease, you have certain restrictions bound to the land. And all of these checks are done. Once they pass the checks and no corrections are needed, then they would write an advice that is geared towards the Minister of VROMI to approve the building permit.
Okay. Wow, sounds like a lot, but those are the process and procedures
Correct.
which one has to follow. Hurricane preparedness neighborhood cleanup. Now, hurricane season, once again, I like to repeat this so that persons could be mindful of this, June 1st and ends November 30th. On our calendar, preparations for hurricane season, what does this mean for your department? What does it all entail? Please share that with us as well. And what are the inner working squad operations leading up to, including the season and post? Charlon.
Yes, we are here. We are officially in the hurricane season, and we have kicked off our hurricane season cleanup, which is an annual activity that the department does. This year, we're doing things a little bit different. We're increasing the awareness. So right now, we're in the awareness phase, and we will be coming out with very detailed information and disseminating this to the public regarding what the hurricane cleanup is all about, what they can dump, where they can dump, how, and etc.
Okay, so post now, after hurricane, what's work like for the department?
After a hurricane, we always hope that there's not too much debris, but there is usually always fallen rocks on the road. There's always maybe some fallen trees, etc. We have an operations division in the Department of Infrastructure Management that has heavy equipment such as backhoes, excavators, dump trucks. They are the first to go on the road, actually even before anyone else, and we ensure that the roads are clear, free, and passable, even for emergency services.
Okay.
We also receive assistance from the fire department when necessary from their crew, who is well trained also in handling emergency response.
Okay. So at least we got a bit of insight of what all happens post-hurricane.
Yes.
And once again, you mentioned annually the cleanups are being done in every district. And now the garbage bins are also going to be put in place as well for persons to dispose of debris. Now, when we talk about debris, name the various types of articles we're talking about.
We have basically two categories of debris that the hurricane cleanup is intended for. We have the greenery-related debris, which is trees, garden waste, shrubs, branches, and then we also have the household bulk waste, which typically cannot be dumped in the regular bins that you're seeing alongside the road. And for the household bulk waste, think of items such as an old mattress, old TV, washing machine, anything that is garbage and you want to clean up. The cleanup, we take advantage of the large bins that are made available, and we also take advantage of the whole cleanup effort in general. So not only cleaning your yard from maybe some trees that needs to be cleared, but also inside, because when you start cleaning, Charity, you want to do a full scope.
Yes, I hear you. Are these bins also going to be along roadsides or probably next to the original government garbage bins that we see? And also for persons we are very creative in the Caribbean, some people have the tendencies of probably personalizing their garbage bins. That's allowed?
Personalizing your garbage bins. I have seen so far one personalized government-issued garbage bin, and it's actually not allowed because you don't own the bin. Okay. The bin is still a property of the government. So we always ask persons to take very good care of the bin, clean the bin, keep it in good order. These bins are actually something that are in limited quantities. So we always ask persons to take very good care of the bin.
Okay.
I would avoid personalizing them in any way.
All right. These garbage bins are going to be also the contractors that are signed up together with VROMI working. Who are they, if you can mention?
Okay, so we have 7 parcels. We have various contractors in the seven cleaning parcels, household collection parcels around the island. We have, for instance, Meadowlands is one of the contractors. We have also All Waste in Place is another contractor, just to name two. Each parcel has a specific contractor that will be responsible for placing a large bulk waste bin. And we are going to be releasing the schedule. And the schedule is something that we encourage everyone to take a keen look at. We're going to have the neighborhood where the bins are going to be placed, the period that the bin will be in the neighborhood.
And when it will be moved.
Yes, and also when it will be removed.
This begins when, Charlon?
This begins actually from today.
Okay.
But you have to monitor the schedule because the schedule will also contain the dates of when the bins will be there. So
the schedule is going to be placed online?
Yes, the schedule will be placed on Facebook. We're also going to share it through various mediums. And we expect anyone who still has questions to just reach out to the department and we will be able to assist them with any further information. We're also putting contact information of the waste haulers on the schedule. So each waste hauler, of course, has their own company email address, and we encourage persons to contact your waste hauler because ultimately they are contractually obligated to service that particular area.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add before we end this interview?
Yes. I would like to encourage persons to take advantage of the hurricane cleanup because it is an opportunity to not only get your place clean, but with the placement of the bins, of the bulk waste bins around the island, it is also an opportunity to save money from having to hire someone to carry your bulk waste over to the landfill. And we all know everyone likes saving money. I want to also thank my team at the permits department and also at the infrastructure management department because leading up to all of this is a very, very, very tedious task. So I want to thank them.
Thank you very much, Charlon. There you have the voice, and you've heard and also seen the face of none other than Mr. Charlon Pompier. He is the department head over at Permits and also acting department head at Infrastructure VROMI. To our radio listeners and also television viewers, thank you very much for tuning in and being a part of this edition of Inside Government Interview. If you have missed our broadcast, be sure to log on to the official government Facebook page and also website at stmartingov.org for video on demand. For rebroadcast, be sure to listen and tune into St. Martin Gov Radio 107.9 FM. On behalf of our team here at the Department of Communication, I'm Charity Dunker. Thank you very much for tuning in.